This is Business Talk, your business, your success. Sponsored by Take Action Business Coaching. The opinions expressed are those of the participants and may not be the views of the staff, advertisers, and owners of the station. Advice given is not intended to replace that of your business advisor. Now, let's get down to talking about your business, your success. This is Business Talk.
All right, good afternoon. It's another beautiful Saturday here in Columbus, Ohio, and we're here to talk about business talk. This is Michelle Calcasola with Take Action Business Coaching, and I have a special guest in here today because none of my other coaches wanted to come play with me. Actually, I kicked them out because I have an even more interesting guest that came in to join us today. This is Jon Willette, and he is with 4 Points Business
Asset management.
Asset management, yes. He has a lot of different little companies in here. I was forgetting the words. But Jon Willette is here today, and he is a real estate mogul, I would say, just brilliant in the business world as far as real estate goes. And his company is does a whole lot of great things that we're going to kind of educate you about your business real estate today and learn from of his great years of experience in the real estate world and how it can help your business. So, Jon, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your company and what you're going to tell our viewers today.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for having me here. It's
absolutely.
very nice of you. And mogul, I would say, is a bit of a stretch. So thanks. But yeah, there was I think when you asked for us to come on and talk about this is really from a what is a developer, what's a real estate developer do, and how can they help your business? Absolutely. And even if you're not looking for a new building, your existing circumstance, or if you are looking for something to expand into or contract, how can a developer help you, and what does a developer do? Absolutely,
yeah, it's great things to do. So when you developed your company, tell us a little bit about your background as far as how you got into this company and how you started in your business world.
Sure. Okay. I've been in real estate for about 20 years. I started as a lease analyst where we would analyze leases to see if the landlord was doing and following the lease.
Okay.
And if not, then we would try to make sure that it was all taken care of for our clients.
Great.
We worked all over the nation doing that. That company was purchased by a regional company here in Columbus, Ohio, the Pizzuti Companies, and worked as a broker there for many years, and then ended up at Prologis, which is a REIT, an industrial REIT. So understands, working with industrial warehouses. I was pretty much Central Ohio, but it's a worldwide company. And then moved. I understood that I really wanted to get into development, and I had continued to work on that path, and ended up opening up 4 Points with a couple partners. And the idea was a lot when you're building hundreds of thousands of square feet. Those clients have great architects and civil engineers, and they understand the entire process.
Sure.
When you're building something smaller, maybe 10,000 square feet or 20,000 square feet, you're kind of on your own, or you're working with your brother-in-law or the guy that owns the lot.
Yeah.
And so some steps are missed, and you don't quite have that same professional, help.
Okay. Yeah.
So we thought, there might be a market here, which there was, and we started designing and building for customers all over the country, doctor's offices, preschools, all sorts of different applications, but bringing the professional architect, bringing the right process for them in their business and to help their business.
Right.
So over the years, we continually perfect or work on perfecting our process.
Yeah.
To get them through the steps through A through Z. I've with 4 Points now, we work on everything from consulting through the development. We do have a brokerage company, 4 Points Equity, that can help with brokerage, and then we can also property manage it, oversee the construction and whatnot. So over time, we've become vertically integrated. We have a stronger and stronger focus on Central Ohio now, but we still do go, through all of Ohio and the country. Yeah. We're able to with our system. So we're able to take to our customers and our clients They may just need consulting. They may need a whole, what do I do here? What do I have?
Right.
We're working with a manufacturer right now who's out of space and on top of each other. And a lot of our customers, they buy a building or move into a building. And as they grow, they just try to make the building work.
Sure.
And it ends up hurting their efficiency, their output, what they could do, employee retention. And with millennials moving up, and we're studying the millennials very intently. With them coming in, they look at a building in a whole different way. Where we used to have offices, down by a bad part by the airport or something like that.
Yeah.
The clients just wanted to see, hey, they're not spending a lot of money here. Millennials are more into it's got to be a little cooler. It's got to have something to it. So
Sure.
So we help our clients understand that and help their business grow through the development, whether they're in their building and staying, or whether they're looking, or they just have questions.
Okay, great. And I know you've been, through the years that you and I have been working together in a coaching relationship, and you've helped us so greatly with a lot of our other customers, our other clients, within their businesses. And we really have enjoyed the fact that you have helped them find things about their real estate that they didn't know. And you've also helped to reduce the stress of different situations throughout their real estate process. Sometimes you've found them a good, considerable amount of money. Sometimes you've taken off the stress of construction and building and planning. Sometimes you help them get out of their own way when it comes to thinking through the flow of their process. Sometimes we just get so comfortable in our business, like you said, surviving in the building or trying to force, square peg in a round hole or whatever to make things work. And maybe it's not the smartest thing for our business. And maybe we're costing our business a significant amount of money and time and stress that we really don't need in the business. So, thank you for all of that time that you've put into there. And I know you like to say a lot, what don't you know about your real estate, because there are hidden things. We all like to think that we know everything about our own business and about our own world. But what don't you know? You don't know what you don't know until you know it, right? So it's something that you've really been working on. I know you mentioned talking about, what is a real estate developer? Because I know, that's something I've learned a lot more about your business since I've been involved. I probably had a very top-end idea of what that meant, but not really understood until I met you and learned more about your company. So why don't you explain to us kind of what is a real estate developer?
All right, great. So back in the day, the architects used to run the projects, and then for a while the GCs ran the projects. And they're very good at what they do, but they're very focused in their particular areas.
Sure.
So an architect, they want to build these great facilities, and a GC, of course, wants to get that done as well. But they don't sometimes focus on the other parts to it, and there's many parts to the entire development.
Okay.
So if we walk through it from A to Z, kind of soup to nuts, the first part is just how does your business work? What makes it tick? A developer is going to be a quarterback, and they're going to sit here and take all the information, and they're going to take all this information, and they're going to try to take exactly what the customer needs and what the customer wants and desires, and then translate that to the entire building design community to try to make the building, try to build the building in exactly what the client wants. So we'll help translate that, work with all the different pieces and parts to where we have that great product. Okay. So we start, and there's a lot of, when we do, we'll go out and do a convention, and people will come up to us and go, boy, I wish I would have used you guys, which is the worst thing I like to hear, right? Because I'm like, well, why didn't you? But they're like, I wish I would have used you because we didn't do this and we didn't think we had to do that. And we have a process that makes sure that we cover every single step. Right. So when we start off, we do the research. And if, for example, you want to move locations or build a new location or expand, so we're going to go through and we're going to figure out every single step from point A to point B or point Z that is needed to complete this project and put it on a timeline. Okay. So, for example, we come in and, you have a new building you want to build, Michelle's, action coach land. And we're like, okay, well, let's figure out, first of all, what do you need in this building? How does it flow? Where are you going to have customers in here? Are you going to have, is there a window that people need to walk up to, or a lot of conference rooms, or do we have individual offices? So we're going to really question you and go through a programming or discovery process to understand what you need.
Okay.
At that point, we're going to move forward and then start looking for not only the place, and maybe you have a real estate agent we can work with, or we do have people, but then we'll work with them on exactly where should it be.
Great.
How does it work? How does the entire process going to fit with the location that we're going to be at?
Perfect. Well, I think when we get back, we have a little short break here, but when we get back, I'd like to delve in a little bit more about, the next steps, because we're looking at, doing the discovery, finding out what you need, and moving forward. So when we get back from our break, we're going to hear more from Jon Willette with 4 Points Asset Management to learn more about our real estate.
Could your business use some help? Call 614-306-7922 to schedule your coaching session. 614-306-7922. Now, here's more business talk.
Hi there, welcome back. And this morning, this is Business Talk, and this is Michelle Calcasola with Take Action Business Coaching. And we are talking today with Jon Willette from 4 Points Asset Management. And Jon is here today to help us to learn more about how to get more out of our real estate for our business, what his company could be doing to help you find out what you don't know about your real estate. And I like to say, find the hidden treasures that might be within your real estate. So before we left for the break, Jon was telling us about kind of what does a real estate developer do, and then how do we go through this process of finding the right real estate. So, in a pretend example that I am looking for a new building in order to put our firm, which is a really good idea. I think we should do that anyway. Yeah. A new business place for our firm. And so we come to Jon and said, help, we need help for our business. And he's put us through, looking and asking us a lot of things about how our company works, what we need to do, what we would be looking for, what our customers need, all the things that we would need in our building for our company. And then was talking about helping to find the land. So your next phase would be looking and finding just the right spot. And what do you think makes a spot great for a particular business?
Yeah, so you always hear location, sure. And location, price. But there's, we moved a client as a crow flies, maybe a half a mile, and his business picked up 25%. Wow. He had to add more salespeople, and it was just really from the discovery and saying, okay, what are you looking for, and how does your business tick? Yeah, we're working with a customer right now. He's in the same position. And I think just by moving his business to maybe a little bit more visible would work for him and would greatly improve his business. But when you're doing preschools, you need to be in a very nice area, but you don't have to be on the corner in a phenomenal location. If someone sees the playground equipment, they know they either sell playgrounds or it's a preschool. Right. So it really depends on your business and having that professional there, whether it's a really good real estate agent or developer or someone in the real estate market to help understand what you do and understand how your employees are going to like what they do and understand how your clients react. That helps put that puzzle together to where we can see where do we go. Absolutely. So once we find that, and I think this what we're talking about this morning is how a developer can help you. Here is the developer, when they're going through this whole programming, they're going to be talking to the agents and the GCs, which is a general contractor for construction, the architects, the civil engineers, and they're going to relay for you what is needed versus you relaying to all those people individually. So they're going to save you an awful lot of time. They're going to bring their experience to the table, and clients then can run their business. Great. So you have a choice of hiring someone that can do this for you, or doing it yourself and figuring it out. And really, it's not rocket science. It's a lot of experience. It's a lot of people working, understanding who to work with in the whole procedure. So with that, once we find the location, well, then it's obviously negotiating, getting the right price, getting the right time in the contract to be able to go through our due diligence. Okay. And then helping them close on the property. Yeah. Maybe assisting them with the financing, they might want to lease, and we can, as a developer, can actually build the building and own it and lease it back to them.
Okay.
Or they might want to just own it themselves.
Okay.
And do that.
Yeah.
And it could also be, Michelle, it could also be an existing building.
Okay.
This doesn't necessarily have to be a brand new, building. I got to build this. A client, we might get done and be like, okay, here's. I think we could build a new building, but you might be able to fit into here perfectly, and here's how we do it.
Interesting. Yeah.
So if we are going into an existing building, or if we're going to build a new one, the design process is starting to come up as the next step.
Okay.
And some of these run parallel.
Yeah.
So we'll have the design and the government due diligence, which we'll talk about in a second. But the design where I think the design is all the pieces are very important.
Yeah.
But this is where once we're done. Once the building goes up, we're living with what we had. So the whole design is where I want to put a lot of our time and energy.
Sure.
To help them, hey, let's draw this out. Let's rip up that piece of paper. That was terrible. Let's do it again. Let's really figure it out. And we have a few clients we're right now going back and forth on that design right now, trying to help them understand, okay, here's how might help your business flow.
Right.
And we're using the right architects and the engineers to help them understand and see that. And they all start saying, well, this is what I want too. So we're trying to put all that together and come out with a great product at the end. And what we want is when you walk in, you're like, this is much better than I anticipated. Yeah. Versus, boy, I wish we would have done this over here.
Sure.
So that's what we're trying to avoid. And we have a 3D model printer at the office. We utilize a lot of images and computer images to help the customer walk through it in their mind.
That's great.
We have a lot of vision,
but
we have to build that vision, and I got to take from the client, what are you looking for?
Right.
And really build that vision and then explain that vision to everybody else to where we can end up with that.
Right.
So that's the design process, and that's really important. And
you're really helping to be the communicator between all of those people too, and breaking things down, because I know, let's say for a doctor talking to a patient, sometimes they can't break it down into human talk, and the patient might not fully understand. So in this case, the customer, has in their mind how they see their business going. And like you said before, the architect might really want to make their print, really make this something they can be so super proud of. And you have to be the person in between to make sure everybody understands what the other person is saying, that they're allowing themselves to hear what that person's saying, so that you come up with the best plan. And obviously you have years of experience in various businesses as far as the flow too. So bringing your own mental state to that and keeping everybody moving forward for the best design. I love, some of the things that you brought up as far as the tools that you use in order to help people, because I definitely am a visual person, am a creative person, but when it comes to spatial recognition, I don't have it. You ask me what's above me or below me, I have no idea. Right. So, really being able to see that in a more formal layout, to really get an understanding of how it works. Blueprint may not do it for me. I may need to see something a little more tangible, or like you said, a computer program that can walk me through it or something like that.
That's a good point. Our campus clients, they don't care about what the square footage is. They want, how's a bed fit in here, and how does the couches fit, right?
Right.
So we have to understand that from our client,
sure,
to where they can really see that and help them understand that, just not code, and all the boring stuff,
right,
but it's really how is the customer going to see them? This is, your building is so important, and some people forget about this, that when your customer does walk in, what do they see? What do you get used to it every day.
Right.
Is it messy? Is it, does it not flow well? Does it smell like mold? Does it, things that you just get used to, and we help bring those fresh eyes as a good developer will, to say, hey, this is what the client experience is so important these days. And it's really important to help tie that together, what makes their business run. Good. And that's kind of the art of it. It's just like, I guess we could just all move into a warehouse and run our businesses. Right. But is that the most effective way?
Exactly.
And if it is, then let's do that. But Real Estate 101 is highest and best use. And what can we do to make sure that the client has a great experience? They really love where they're going. Yep. The employees love it. So they're clients, but we're also within a certain budget. Perfect. Right? We have to work within that budget and bring the cool factor. And I think at 4 Points, that's one of our specialties, is really bringing a cool factor to things. Yeah. And adding that to where people are excited. And that's I think we all like to have cool offices, but I think that's going to be a big millennial thing.
For sure.
And 75% of the people in the next 10 years will be millennials running companies, having jobs. That's going to be our customers.
It's an amazing impact on the population. And I really like that you are constantly looking at research and looking at different aspects of the business world and what's coming and what's trending and what's going to be trending, because, I may not see that as a business owner. Say I'm a lawyer or something like that. I'm a really amazing lawyer, but I'm not keeping my eye on the pulse of, what's happening in real estate or what's happening in the business world outside of the legal world. So it's important for me to know who my customers might be in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, if I intend to have a business that sticks around that long. And hopefully that is the intention, right? Just stick around or sell it to somebody else and it'll still be around, right?
Right.
So great. Okay.
Yeah. When you think of your building, it's kind of your marketing piece too.
Yeah.
A lot of these that are on the freeway, you can see it's a big marketing piece. When they walk in, we've spent all this money on our websites and all that, but what are you giving your customer and your employees when they come walking in, and yourself too? So,
for sure.
So then it's the location, and as I was saying, we've now found a location, and there's a few paths that are parallel. Mm-hmm. At this point, we're also helping with either a financial package, and that's helping them understand pro formas and the financing side, bringing in financing people, working with them, and also going through the government agencies. Okay. So everything from a neighborhood group to the city council, to permits, and all that has to happen together. And then once we're going through that, we start testing the ground. There's a lot of pieces to making sure we can build on this ground. Yeah, it's just not financial, because real estate is really a financial equation, right? Mm-hmm. It's a mathematical equation, and you put all these parts together. Right. And at the end, it comes out, and you want to be in the profit side of things.
Yes,
it is a profit thing.
Absolutely.
Right? It is a profit thing. So you want to do that, and working with all the different pieces and parts. We have to make sure that the ground is suitable. It's clean, clean enough, or, it can hold what we want to hold, and it has the proper utilities and everything else to it. So,
right. And I think you have the experience to help people to know what testing needs to happen, absolutely should happen, and what is a good price for getting that done and everything. Because I know years ago, I was, working with a customer who was trying to get some land and was running into some environmental issues, and man, again, if she would have had you, then could have gone through that. But I remember her stressing about, this is a big investment. She's putting a lot of money, a couple $1 million down on this land, and now we need a $20,000 test for this and a $30,000 test for that. And she didn't know, am I going to be spending this money and walking away, which you, of course, may never know until you get the results back. But I think somebody with your experience or a developer's experience would be able to tell, whether you're being had to do testing or not, So great. We've looked through so far in the development phase. So we've looked at figuring out what your business needs, what your business wants to do, how it flows, what your customers are going to like and don't like, looking for land or an existing building to take over in order to make it fit for your business, make it right for you, having the great location. Talked about doing some of the design things, working through that process, and helping with some of the finance and the environmental world. So we can continue down the path when we get back and working through phases of development. Please tell our customers how they can reach you if they want to find out more about 4 Points.
Sure. You can call us at 614-707-4444.
That's easy enough.
Yes, or you can check out our webpage, www.4ptsdev.com.
Awesome. All right, this is Business Talk. We'll be back in a second with Jon Willette at 4 Points Asset Management.
To learn more about today's topic, call 614-306-7922. Now, back to more Business Talk.
All right, welcome back. Happy Saturday afternoon. Again, this is Michelle Calcasola with Take Action Business Coaching, and we're talking with one of our phenomenal clients, Jon Willette with 4 Points Asset Management, and he is here today to help us learn more about real estate in your business. So we've been working through the process of how he can work with a customer from point A to Z through development and really help us understand a little bit more about what not only developers do, but what his company as a whole. I think they kind of take it to a whole nother level as we get down the chain here, and some different ways that they help customers even past the developing side. But we were kind of left here with helping with we found the land, We found out what the customer needs. We looked or started working through some design options, and now we have gone through some help with financing because, most of us just don't have a few $1 million laying around in our pocket to pass over to you. I mean, I wish I did, but I might have other things to spend it on even if I did. So helping to figure out, how are we going to pay for this whole project and how are we going to make sure that it's profitable for our business. We don't want to get people in a state where they've overspent and their business could never afford to keep it up. That's definitely not a good referral for you, is it? Right. And then you were talking about going through some of the permits and zoning. I have actually witnessed you all going through some of these city councils and zoning things, and it is quite a trek that I tell you I would not want to be doing on my own without somebody with experienced lawyers, with experienced companies, developers behind my back, because it's a lot more than I understood before I was working with your team. So you have a great team that you've compiled together that know what they're doing and are willing to fight the good fight. And I would say about your company is the answer isn't no, it's how, right? You guys are always looking for, the next step to get around whatever obstacle might be in your way. So
yeah, and there's a lot of them, and that's part of it, having a good developer on your side going through this, whether you're staying in your building and just and expand or whatever, is understanding this path.
Right.
So over the years, going through the government and going through all these different pieces have gotten much more difficult. There's more regulations. There's more, there's more lawyers. There's more everything. And so understanding that path and when a hurdle does come up is how to negotiate that.
Okay.
So that's important because every misstep or everything is money.
Yeah.
Time is money. And like Steve Martin and Jerk said, it's a profit thing. So it is, we want to make sure we get down there and understand that. And as we're stepping through the design, when we started that's where we really are, hey, here's how much we think it's really going to cost. And here's the time. So we want to build the expectations for everybody and for them to really know what that path is. And we didn't really used to do that in the beginning, and our customers would get very anxious through it, even though we're working, and they're like, well, what's happening? Well, so then we started laying it out for them in our early meetings. Here's the Gantt chart, which shows really just how long it's going to take and how much it's going to cost, and then they can check it off as they go. So that's been a big plus for us, and our customers are happy. Because as it goes through, and I've saw one of your people that you coach, they do a great thing where they do smiley faces and sad faces. This is when the client's going to be upset. Right. This is when they're going to be happy, because things happen behind the sines you just don't see every day. But so then we, as we've gone through the process, we're now getting to a point of, talking with a GC, which is a general contractor, and that's the person who's going to build the whole thing. Okay. And depending on the project is what kind of general contractor you want. So if we're building a 7-story building versus we're building, an addition onto a building, it'll probably be a different general contractor. And we would go out, whether we're building this for ourselves or for a client, and probably at least interview 3 and get prices and bids. Make sure they're apples to apples. Value engineer, which is one of our specialties too, is value engineering and trying to really get exactly what we want, and then finding that right contractor. Once we find that right contractor, Ryan in our office, he oversees that. So he makes sure that everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing, when they're supposed to be doing it, keeping on time. Great. So even though you're hiring out a different company, you have somebody within your company that's his whole role is to keep an eye on things to make sure the quality is up to your standards, that the timing is staying on thing, the budget is where it's supposed to be and everything. That's great. That's right. And he runs that. Lynn runs our development side. And then Karen runs our property management side at the end. So there's a director in charge of each one of those that we all work together and then make sure that we communicate that properly, not only to our client, but to the GC or to whoever we need to. Right. And think of it like this. When we're working third party, which means you hired us to do this for you, we're like your outsourced real estate company. So these days, outsourcing is a big deal. And, you whether you're expanding 4 or 5 locations or just doing one, at the end of the day, you don't have to buy us a Christmas bonus or anything else like that. We're your outsourced company. We have all that experience. You're able to use us. And there's one contact, one phone number for you to call and then we handle everything else for you.
So if during the project there's something issue with the plumbing, I don't have to track down the plumber that I don't know his name because I haven't seen him before on site or whatever. I can't remember his phone number, anything like that. I just have to call whoever's in charge at your team, and they will take care of everything. That's great.
Yeah, and it's we encourage that if a client sees something they don't like, you don't need to talk to any of the subs or anything. Just go through us. Yeah, we may know why it's happening like that, and we can help you understand why it's being done like that. Or if we do want to change that, so we know the right process to go through. So there's like any business, it's tricks of the trade. Yeah, to understand all those, and that's where it saves the client money, time, and energy. And even we work for some other large developers that they have us come in and do certain projects. Okay. Because we all speak the same language. Yeah. But we're outsourcing for them. They just don't have the manpower or whatever it is in that particular, or they don't have that specialty. Okay. And they bring us in and we help them too. So we've done that as well. So now you're building. We've gone through the GC, right? Yep. We've picked them. We're like, okay, we got the design. It's really cool. This is going to be great. We're on a budget. We've worked out the financing. We've helped you through that. Now it's time to start digging. And this is where hopefully the design is all done, because if it's not, it's going to cost us a lot more money to change something. So that's why the design part is important. And then we're going to start building that building and overseeing that entire process too. Okay. So depending on what it is, could depend on that contractor and their specialty, but we want to make sure that we're overseeing it, meeting with the contractor, and then we meet with our clients once a week and update them what's going on they understand.
So at a minimum, they're getting that communication every single week throughout the project. Right. Great.
And some clients are more involved, some are not. They're like, just tell me when it's done, John. And other ones are like,
hand me the keys.
What happened today? Whatever. But then once we go through that whole building process, then at the end it's time to hand over the keys, and it's managing the building. Okay. So hopefully we have conveyed to the client that it's just not for opening day, but the next 10 or 20 years you're going to own this building. Sure. How this building should run and last, from the roofing system to what we're going to put inside, to where you're not having a lot of maintenance problems as you go along. So. We're thinking about the future too in the design, and in the construction and all the other pieces and parts. And then once we get through that, it's the property manager's turn. So it's either you as the client can property manage, and that's not only changing the air filters and mowing the grass and plowing, but it's doing all the upkeep and the maintenance and the preventative maintenance.
Climbing on the roof and breaking my neck. Yeah,
that's right. We'll save you from that.
Right.
So. This maintenance this preventative maintenance is so important on what you should be doing to your HVACs and inspecting your roofs and whatnot. And we're getting ready to launch here pretty soon that our property management is going to be working with individual homeowners or people that maybe own, 1 to 5 locations, who they don't necessarily want to manage their home anymore. Okay. Maybe they'd rather stay where they're at, but they want the condo feel. Yeah. Where I don't have to cut the grass or paint the outside or, look at the roof, or maybe their parents are getting older and they're taking care of their house. So we'd be able to manage that process because we have all the people, right? Yeah. We have all the landscapers. We have all the HVAC. So as that developer, we have all those professionals that we're bringing to the table. And remember, Michelle, how we started was, hey, all the guys that are building really big stuff have all the good guys, right? Okay, yep. Why can't everybody else? And that's what we're bringing to the table, through the whole thing. So that's what we want is, it's like chili. A good chili has a lot of great ingredients, right? So if we have all good people, good people in our office and good people, good subs and people that are working for us and vendors, the project is usually comes out very well.
That's great. Yeah. And it's definitely something for working again with your company for the past few years, that your team is amazing. And I'm not exactly sure how you have managed to find all of these amazing people, but each one of them is so incredibly smart, talented, but fun. Thanks. And you have definitely built a culture around your ideas and your vision of what you want things to be, because every one of your team members is actively working to make the customer experience, to make the building, to make your own experiences through it the best that it can be. So big kudos to you. If you want to reach John and his team, you can call 614-707 4444. You can also visit their website, which is the number 4, ptsdev.com, and learn more about them today.
Could your business use some help? Call 614-306-7922 to schedule your coaching session. 614-306-7922. Now, here's more business talk.
All right, welcome back. And we're having a great conversation here with Jon Willette at 4 Points Asset Management and his company and their real estate, taking care of our real estate and our business and helping us find the best way to handle our real estate when it comes to our business. Again, this is Michelle Calcasolo with Take Action Business Coaching. My other coaching partners, Peg, Pete, and Angie, are not here today because I kicked them out of the studio to spend time with my good friend Jon here. So Jon just took us through the process of if we were going to build a new building for our business to make it be more profitable, more efficient, better fit for our team and our customers, whether it's finding an existing building or starting scratch from land. But that's not the only thing that gets done at 4 Points Asset Management. I say that 10 times fast today. And so we wanted to talk to you a little bit more about, again, finding that hidden treasure within your business and maybe not even having to go to the level of building a brand new building, but some other things that maybe you've done for other customers in the past to help find the money within their real estate, find the joy within their real estate. I know you've said that to some of my customers before. You've had horrible real estate experiences. Let's give you a good real estate experience for once. So talk a little bit about the consulting side, because I know that's where some of your projects really begin.
Right. Yes. Thank you. And thank you again for having us on. I appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Happy to have you.
Yeah. And as we're going through this, it's, what do developers do and have? And it just, 4 Points, obviously, we're focused on this. And I know there's some other very good developers out there. But this is as what a developer does. And, we want to be that quarterback in that middle that's understanding your business, understanding what your needs are, and then, really translating that to the entire development community and contractors and architects and civil engineers to where they can help us reach that vision. And we can also understand what's best for your company. So as we were talking about during the break, one of the things is sometimes we suggest not to do anything, that things are fine and they're good, because what we're doing is when we're working with a client or ourselves and we're building for ourselves and developing for ourselves, is we're turning over all the rocks. We want to get as much information about what's about to happen in this project as possible. So we want to not only understand you, but understand what's going to happen, how it's going to go. Turn over all these rocks, and then come up with, hey, here's Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, and here's how much those cost. Okay. Here's the timeline on it. Yeah. Here's the pain. Here's the good thing. Here's the pros and cons. Here's everything that's going to happen. And Plan A is just stay. Now, here's how that affects. Plan B is, let's expand, and we're going to do this, this, and this. Okay, that's great. Plan C is, let's move. Okay, now we move. We got the building you just came out of. What are we doing with that? You own that. Sure. We're going to sell that, or you lease that, or we're going to go in and lease, and we're going to buy. So we want to bring all that professional. We're your in-house, outsourced, or your out-of-house, I guess, outsourced real estate company. So we want to make sure you have all those as if we worked right there every day with you. So. Yeah. Several clients, we had a doctor, great doctor out of Dublin, and they were looking. We actually just sat down, and he had no idea that he even had an issue, and I guess he wouldn't say it's an issue, but an opportunity, an opportunity. And we sat down, and he's a good friend of mine, and I asked him, I said, why do you own your building? And the two answers I usually get are, I think we're supposed to, and I don't know. We just I don't know. We just always owned a building. So we sat down and talked, and we went over, what are their plans, what's going on, the whole thing. We ended up meeting with their entire crew, all their doctors. By the time we were done, we ended up selling his building to an investor. They leased it for about the same as their mortgage was, and they pulled out over $1 million.
Wow. So
then the three doctors, one decided just to put it in a bank, and the other two decided to reinvest it. Okay. So that money was just sitting there. They didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
He told me, he goes, John, this was the single best business advice I ever got. And he didn't even know it was sitting there.
Wow.
Right? So that's kind of what we bring to our customers is, and it's a little hard to market.
Yep.
But when you sit there and talk to people and you say, okay, why are you doing this?
Right.
And we find out, and some are legitimate. This is why.
Yeah.
I want to be a landlord. I want to do this. And okay, well, then if you're going to be a landlord, it's a business and we can help you with that. Or
right.
I want to do this, that, or the other. And, we're getting out in 10 years. What do we do?
Yeah.
Or I'm getting ready to move. Should I buy? Should I lease? What
right.
should I do? So as we're going out there, we want to help them understand what to do and make the potential, the best decision they possibly can when it comes to their real estate.
Yeah.
Because it's a big investment.
For sure.
Right? Most
Yep.
people, their house is their biggest investment. The business, if you think of what you're spending monthly,
Yeah.
On your business and on the electricity and everything else, is that the best thing for you?
Right. Are there other things in your business that you could reinvest that money if you didn't have the expenses going directly to the building when the roof is collapsing or different
right.
things come up, that you could give up some of that stress and worry, but also reinvest some of the money that you make out of selling that property? And I think some worries that people have when they own their own building in their business is they don't want to give up that control, or they're afraid that
right.
they're going to be kicked out in a year if they, are now leasing from somebody else. And that's something that your company helps too, right? Is for them to develop the lease. They lease it back to themselves, first, maybe before they sell it. So they get to set the terms of the lease and things like that. Yes, it's all about the strategy, the strategery, right?
Yes,
yes.
Sure.
So making sure that we have the right things set up for them to protect them, but they can set a long-term lease. I know you've talked about 10-year or 15-year leases, right. Something that, how long they want to have the business and options to renew and things like that.
And are they, if they own their own building, are they leasing to themselves right now? And do they have that set up properly? Or,
sure.
Or let's help you. I'm not an attorney, so we'll help you get set up with there's some great real estate attorneys here in town. We use Burkholder, but there are some great ones out there, and they can help make sure that your business is set up properly to where everything from the taxes to the legalities of it are done correctly. And excuse me, but there is many times with our customers as we're helping them consult and decide what to do, that we've either been, let's go build a new building. Here's what's going to happen. Or, hey, we've got this, it's best to stay. Or let's expand here and really do this. But that's part of just walking through and understanding everything. And honestly, Michelle, a lot of times by the time we're done doing all the research, the decision kind of makes itself. Yeah. A lot of times we sit up there and we're like, okay, this is, and everybody's on the same page, like, this is the way to do it.
Right, right. And you also have helped people when they do sell that building and now they have the money left over from it. Like you said, the one guy stuck it in the bank and the other two reinvested. So you can also help people to choose what they're going to do with that money as far as reinvesting in real estate, right? And other real estate properties that they don't necessarily have to be doing the daily maintenance for. They can put investments towards it and be making money back based on those real estate. So that's something else that you try to help them work through the future after they've received money out of their building, right?
You're right, yeah, because you pull that and some people use it as I'm going to go buy more product, because what do you really do for a living? Are you a landlord? If you are a landlord, let's do it right. But if you're not a landlord and you just have the building, just to have the building, why do I have this? Can I reinvest that money into my product or my business to make it better? Sure. Or can I move that and let's go buy another investment? Can I get more real estate and start building my empire? Yeah. What can we start doing here? So we want to bring all those answers to the table. We want to bring the right professionals to help them understand those answers too. Sure. We don't have them all. We don't have all the answers, but we know all the people. So we want to bring those right people to the table to where they can help them plan for their future and make their business more of a success by just doing the real estate right. That's what we focus on. We're very we have a lot of vision. We're very creative, but our focus is really on how to make your business better through the real estate, and I guess we call ourselves developers for that, but that's really what we want to do and make sure you understand it all at the very end. And we do have some customers that just stay too. So absolutely.
So you also, I know in the past, have worked with some customers that they might just be renting from somebody else, like in a retail strip center or something like that, and haven't necessarily ever thought past that moment of just giving another landlord money, and really getting nothing out of it. So you have taken other customers that might be in that situation and shown them how you could build them their own building or their own retail center if they wanted, where they would be paying the same amount per month as they're paying on their current lease, but they could have that investment of owning, or you could change it out in the future. So tell us about what their options would be there.
Okay, so here's something we're working on right now, and this is really interesting. So it's we're working with a dentist, and this dentist, he's been leasing for years and years and years. And he's in a fine location. I mean, you don't usually drive by a dentist and go, hey, let's stop in and get a cleaning or fill a cavity. But you kind of find your dentist, so they don't have to be in the best location. But still, if I'm out on a corner, people do see me more, right?
Sure.
And I like visibility. Yeah. So being visible is good. Yep. So what we're doing is he's been renting. We found a spot.
Okay.
We can build a building, okay, and he's going to be in at the same price that he's currently at, right?
Nice, yep.
We sign a long-term lease there, and then we're going to go out and sell that to an investor.
Great.
Okay, which we're already talking to several that are interested.
Okay.
So what will happen is he'll actually move from his building into a brand new facility that he can build, and state of the art now, great, brand new, exciting,
set up exactly
better
as he
location.
wants it. Yeah.
Sell it and be at the same price that he's paying and pull money out of the deal.
Nice.
So he'll make additional money because really the building is very important, but it's the lease that's inside.
Yeah.
Right? So we want to make sure that the leases that we're getting are top-notch leases.
Great.
And that's just part of it of what don't you know about your business. And that's when we sit down with people, they sometimes just ask us, hey, John, let's talk about this for a minute.
Yeah.
I didn't really have any plans. I think I'm okay. But let's just talk about it. And then they find out something that maybe they just didn't know.
Right.
And we can bring it to the surface and help them achieve more in their business.
Great. So if you own a business, you should just give John a call, John and his team, and talk to him. He's actually offering a few free consultations to sit down and spend about an hour with your business. So whether you're renting or you own, if you're getting close to retirement or just starting out, you should give them a call and take advantage of this opportunity because it all starts with the consulting. So give them a call at 614-707-4444. Check them out on the website at number 4ptsdev.com. and learn more about them today. This is Take Action Business Coaching, and have a great day.
Thank you.
This has been Business Talk, your business, your success. Sponsored by Take Action Business Coaching. The opinions expressed were those of the participants and may not be the views of the staff, advertisers, and owners of the station. Advice given was not intended to replace that of your business advisor. For more information about the topics discussed today, call 614-306-7922. 614-306-7922. Tune in next week at this time for more Business Talk, your business, your success.